Jon Arryn, dead. I still can't believe it. That sly old fox was tougher than Valyrian steel.
Yes, it's unfortunate news, but I won't let it interfere. My men would have set up a camp.
Not since this morning. Why? We had words with Jared. Things got pretty heated.
Damn it! Jared has been in a damn foul mood since we came to the wall.
Something's not right.
Sir Donnelly, did everything go well in Castle Black?
All is well. As we had hoped, the Night's Watch is here to help us. I gave Sir Westford the missive I have here. He knows where to find the girl. What's going on here? Let me hear your report.
We were able to position some men here and scout the area. The region seems safe.
We're in Night's Watch territory. The lands are obviously well protected.
Of course, my lord. Jared passed this way. He took some men with him to scout the village south of here.
I never promised such a thing. Jared forgets who gives the orders here. I'll make sure to remind him in due time. We'll continue our journey, Sir Westford. Let's go towards Molestown, where we'll probably find Jared. Robart, stay in your position and await my return.
As you wish, sir.
You know something. Spill it before I scatter your teeth onto the floor.
Please, I beg you. I don't know what you're talking about. I swear. I'm but a simple traveling merchant.
Enough, Jared!
What? Oh, it's you, Sir Godric. This peasant refuses to answer my questions.
Leave him alone!
You can leave.
Very well, my lord. Thank you.
I haven't finished with him.
Yes, you have. No one tortures the people of the Gift without good reason.
And you'll do what? Hang me, like you did my brother? Try it. I could use a laugh.
These lands are under the authority of the Night's Watch. I will personally punish any man who cannot restrain his blade or his fists.
I'll wait and see.
Shut your mouth, Jared. You disgrace us when you speak to Sir Westford that way. But... Silence! Return to camp and await me there. Sir Westford, his behavior is unacceptable. I offer my most humble apologies.
Just make sure he doesn't delay us.
I'll keep an eye on him. How do you plan on finding the girl?
John Arryn's letter mentions the whores at the brothel. We'll start there.
Do you think they'll talk?
The Night's Watch is in charge around here. I've had a few dealings with the local madam before, when sworn brothers found their way to her establishment. If she knows something, I'll soon find out.
The hamlet seems tiny. We'll have gone through it in no time.
Don't let yourself be fooled. The Molestown is much bigger than it seems. More than 3/4 of the town is underground. The underground tunnels were dug by several generations of people. Living below the surface protects them from the cold. And in the midst of the tunnels is the whorehouse. I'm sure that's where we'll find the girl. This much was clear in the letter.
I see. So she's hidden among the whores. Few would think to look for her there. Lord John Arryn certainly was a diligent man.
Don't know what I shall do.
Leave with us. There's work in the south. There isn't much left for us to do here anyway.
My castle's big enough for all of you.
Well, well. If it isn't the great Mors Westford, hero of Castle Black, what can I do for you, handsome? Why don't you join me in my chambers, and I'll show you what a real woman can do.
The day the wall collapses, I'll think about your proposition.
Charming as usual. So, what are you here for? Come to take your lost crows home? Walder brought in a new boy. I believe his name is Patrick. They're in the back. Do with him what you will. But no brawling in my establishment.
No, I'm not here for pleasure. I'm looking for a girl.
Then you're here for the same reason as everyone else. What is your pleasure? Fair hair? Brown hair? Dancers? A girl skilled with her tongue?
I'm looking for a recent arrival. Not a whore. Just a girl from the south.
A girl from the south? I do strive to provide something for every taste here. But girls from the south? Now, why don't you try Alice and Berina? They're twins. Our clients love them. And since you're a first-time customer, I'll give you a discount. What do you say?
Enough horse shit, Sybil. I know the girl was sent to Molestown, and I'm sure you know where she's hiding.
You're mad, Mors. If you're not here for my beer or for my girls, I must ask that you leave.
Listen, Sybil. This girl is in considerable danger. I believe that the men chasing her may have been involved in the death of the King's Hand.
The King's Hand was assassinated? Moors, you must be joking.
When have you ever known me to be joking? If these people were powerful enough to assassinate the King's Hand, it won't be difficult for them to track her here.
Well, what would you do if you found her?
The King's Hand wanted this girl protected. I'm here to make sure that happens. I'm sure I can protect her better than you and your girls can.
Very well. I know that you're a man of honor. I hope I don't regret this decision. The girl's name is Jane Greystone. She's been hiding here for some time.
I thank you for your trust, Sybil. Now, where is the girl?
She's in one of my rooms, downstairs. Go down the stairs, turn left. It's the last door on the right. But don't you dare hurt her.
Don't worry. I'm here to protect her. Thank you for your help.
Do any of you want to play Come Into My Castle with me?
Out of my kitchen. I've enough troubles without having to clean up after the likes of you.
Why, it's Moors. I wasn't expecting to meet you here.
Would you shut up?
You've taken your vow so recently, your words still hang in the air, Patrick.
Please, Moors, you know the Lord Commander turns a blind eye to this sort of thing. Just look at the poor bugger. All of your fellow watchmen are dead. You know how it is. He needs to pick up his spirits.
I can speak for myself, Walder. Moors, would you care to join in our discussion?
I don't know much about you, Patrick. I hear you used to be into smuggling.
I don't really want to talk about that, Moors.
Don't be shy, you're amongst brothers here. You've probably seen plenty of interesting things in your life. Tell us.
First of all, I was not a smuggler.
Weren't your crimes what led you to take the Black?
Very well. If you really want to know, like half the men at the wall, I was once a farmer, with fertile lands and a family. Then one day, I lost everything. I was out hunting for stag, and when I returned home, there was nothing but smouldering ruins left. The wildlings were raiding along the coast, and it led them right to my home. My wife, she wasn't the type to let herself be pushed around by anyone. If you saw what they did to her...
7 hells! Every last one of those wildling monsters deserves to die.
All I had left was my warhammer. I found it while marching with the Starks during the rebellion. All I could do was take my boat and follow the scum across the Bay of Seals. Once I got to the other side of the wall, it was easier than I'd expected. They probably thought they were out of harm's way, and they were careless. They didn't even try to cover their tracks. When I finally caught up with them, it was dark out. The swine were getting drunk on what they'd stolen from me. So I waited for my moment. After a while, most of them could no longer stand. And that's when I went for them. First, I killed the watchman. But then one of their men saw me and cried out. It became a bloodbath. The drink had made them slow of foot and awkward. It made it easy for me. I don't know how long the killing lasted. When it was over, I was covered in blood, wounds, my clothes slashed to shreds. I said to myself, Pat, you're a dead man. Might as well let the cold take you. I let myself drift off. When I opened my eyes, I was in Castle Black. I had been picked up by rangers who'd discovered the camp. It took me a month to heal. In that time, I was accused of everything by the Brothers of the Night's Watch, smuggling, being a wildling, and I just couldn't convince otherwise. So, as soon as I was able to walk again, I was given the choice. Take the Black or the noose.
You suffered an injustice, but you had the right of it to join us, brother. You have a new family now.
Incredible. I didn't know a killer like you was one of our recruits.
What about you, Walder? How did you get to the wall?
Let me think about it for a minute. Where to begin?
I think I know what you want to talk about.
Say nothing, Moors. You'll spoil the surprise. You see my necklace, Patrick? The High Septon gave it to me personally.
The High Septon? The head of the Faith of the Seven? You must be joking.
I swear it's true.
He's right, but I'm not sure you really want to hear the story.
On the contrary, I would like to hear it.
Very well. I had a simple, humble, and poor life, like you, Patrick. Much like any other peasant in the Seven Kingdoms, you might say. I had a wife, Shori. She was delicate and buxom, always smiling, a good woman. Never complained without good reason. She was devoted to the Seven and always ready to aid her neighbor. The best day in my life was the day she agreed to marry me. But all good things come to an end. She fell ill while with child. I sold everything to pay for her treatment. My livestock, my fields, and even my home. All that only to be sold false remedies by swindlers preying on my love. When I finally figured out what they were doing, I pounced on two of the filthy whoresons and gave them what they deserved. I beat them bloody and took my time over it, too.
You chose your destiny, as we did ours.
I wasn't expecting that from you, Walder. I'd mistaken you for a skilled thief.
It would have been better if I was. I probably wouldn't be here now. I spent 20 years of my life protecting this piece of ice. And unlike you, if I had to do it all again, I wouldn't.
So that's when they caught you?
No, let me finish. Shuri held out until the end of her pregnancy, so that the child could survive. She suffered more than I imagined possible. The day she went into labor, I was alone with her. Giving birth to our daughter was too much strain. It killed her. I buried her that same evening. I wanted a better life for my little girl, a different life. I swore by the Seven that she wouldn't end up like her mother, that she would only have the best. The following day, I left home carrying what was left of my possessions on my back to baptize my little girl into the faith. I walked for more than 3 weeks, feeding my little girl as I could and praying each day that she would survive. I eventually reached King's Landing. I knelt before the wondrous gold and crystal dome of the Great Sept. Once inside, an old Septon welcomed me. I told him my story. I confessed everything. He listened attentively. I cried on his shoulder, and he comforted me with soothing words. Afterwards, he took my daughter in for observation. He asked a servant to bring him some goat's milk, and that's when I understood. That old man wasn't just a Septon. He was the High Septon himself.
Really?
Yes. He said if I handed myself in to the king's justice, they would take care of my daughter. He would personally ensure that she'd have a good life.
And you gave yourself up? Just like that?
That's right. I gave them my little girl and handed myself over to the king's justice. When they brought me in, the High Septon personally gave me this necklace. For me, it represents my absolution.
Quite a story.
Yeah, I suppose so. But yours wasn't too bad either.
Each and every sworn brother has his tale to tell, and none of them are enviable.
What about you, Moors? Why did you come to the wall?
I can't talk now, Patrick. I have affairs to attend to. I must go. I'll turn a blind eye this time, but don't linger here too much longer.
We'll have another round and then we're off, I promise.
my lord, thanks for helping me earlier. Without you, I would have lost a few teeth back there. Come closer, you two. Take a look at our selection of wares. The mule will show them to you.
Who gave you permission to speak to me?
Oh, I beg your pardon, my lord. I did not mean to offend you. I just wanted to help the Night's Watch.
Listen, peddler. Some of the wildlings I confronted just recently were armed with steel blades. That seemed a bit strange, because wildlings do not forge steel, so these weapons must come from our side of the wall. And then I happen upon your traveling shop here.
I've nothing to do with that, my lord. I would never do such a thing. I have my merchant's honor to uphold.
That's right, and you do well to remember that. You can stay 1 or 2 more days to sell the locals what they need. Nothing more. When you're finished, go back to the south. If I hear that you've strayed further north, or have overstayed your welcome, I'll find you.
Yes, my lord. I swear. I'll leave as soon as I'm done.
The room is empty. It looks like she ran away from here.
The racket your man started in the village probably scared her away. Let's see what we can find. Her belongings are still in the room. She obviously left in a hurry. This trinket must be hers. Her perfume still clings to it. The trail is still fresh. It should be no problem finding her.
Get this dog out of my kitchen.
My dog picked up the scent of a woman who recently came through here.
She went that way. If you find her, tell her not to be running through my kitchen like that. Now off with you. I don't want trouble with the Night's Watch.
Just a gang of thieves and brigands. That's all they are now.
Well, no one wants to take the oath anymore, do they? Just those that have escaped the noose coming up from the south. And not so many of them now either.
I've heard that if the wildlings attack, the crows would all fall in a single night.
Aye, it's not safe here now. We ought to think about going to Winterfell, like your brother did. I want fresh fish, but your fish is rotten.
Where, my friend? It's obvious you're not the one fishing all morning in the lake and freezing your rosy butt cheeks off.
But how did you lose it, you fool? My fish. Fresh fish.
I want fresh fish, but your fish is
Out of this shithole once and for all. But how did you lose it, you fool?
It's not my fault. My pockets are full of holes. Anyway, it shouldn't be too difficult to find. I'll search for it later.
What a fool. One day I'll get out of this shithole once and for all. Past me like a mad shrew.
I see you always have a good excuse ready. What did I do to the Seven to deserve such a husband?
May the stranger take me. A crow this far from its home?
It's the butcher! Mind yourself with that one!
Of course! But we could say this is our territory? We don't approve of strangers stomping around here.
Silence your tongue, Ben! You trying to get us killed? What should we do, my lord?
What are you doing here?
We're here on business. Nothing out of the ordinary.
Do you think you can easily fool me? I know the both of you. So spill your secrets before I make spill something else of yours.
Please, we're only carrying a few goods to help out our friends.
Smuggled goods. A girl came through here recently. Did you see her?
If a lass had come through here, we'd have noticed it, my lord. Sorry, we've seen nothing.
You chose the wrong day to smuggle.
Take pity on us, my lord. We don't want to fight.
You should have thought of that earlier.
We won't be cowed by the likes of you.